So last night we didn't get to finish up. You notice I reshuffled stuff so you can see far more of my stuff now. I have like a really liquid makeshift light over here. I want to get shout out to the which is actually a positive light. It's working really, really well right now. We'll see how long the battery lasts. We'll consider this battery life testing on the Lunar tube with an unknown source. We could all be in the dark. Didn't realize it was that much louder than me until I just checked. It's quite a bit louder than me. Alright, let me fix this. There, that's better. So, not the perfect setup I had hoped to have, but moderately better than the one I had before. I have space, I can move, and you're over here now instead of over my head where I kept smashing into it. And I feel like I can actually arrange things as long as I don't hit right here, which is off screen and you can't see anyways because that's a mic cable. Alright, I have beverage, we have Lego, and let us return to our previous chapter and find out where our fearless intersolar system travelers were. See, look, I very cleverly bookmarked it because every once in a blue moon I do that. Alright, so last time around we got the base done. He's over here. We got the base, the Apollo 11 lunar module. We got a pretty healthy start on the module itself with its fuel and oxidizer tanks, camera. What do we have over here? We had the laser reflector is over here. So we got that much done. Then we stopped. We got 2 more bags to do. We got bag 3 and bag 4. This is bag 1 and 2 and the kind of surplusy bag that came with it. I'm going to move this and my angry little pencil sharpener. Isn't he cool? He's a pencil sharpener. And on days when I feel better, he's a happy little dude. Today was one of those days. We all have them. I'm going to shuffle this. I'm still not in my ideal dream setup, which is actually, let's see, learn how to point on camera. That pile of mess back there is currently occupying my ideal setup. So it will be coming at some point. I'm going to move this over here as well. We'll dig out bag 3. Because there are just the 2 bags left. Actually, I lied. I'm a horrible, filthy liar. Because bag 4 is actually 3 bags in and of itself. Alright. So let's start with bag 3 and see where we end up. For those that don't know or don't remember, let's see if we can get this somewhat in the screen. There we go. This is what we're working on, only we're going to build it right side up. The Creator NASA Apollo 11 Lunar Lander, 1,087 pieces, set number 10266. We started doing this last night kind of in honor of the anniversary of the launch of Apollo 11. I keep looking over there. Everything is backwards right now. So if I look in the wrong direction or in a direction that's weird and you're not used to seeing me, it's because normally I have monitor, 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 and right now I have monitor, 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 because I shifted all the way over. We shall adapt. This is my favorite part because it makes all sorts of crinkly noises that I know drives through fire nuts because they're super duper loud. I'm going to reverse this orientation here. We'll put the book up there and the parts down here. Yay. Because I actually can. I should move the phone over and use it as a stand. Yes, there's an actual honest-to-God phone over there. For you young whippersnappers who don't know what that is, it's one of these, but with a thingy you put to your ear while the rest of it stays down there. We used to call them telephonic communicators. Alright, no, I don't think anyone actually called them that other than sarcastically in TV shows. But we can start now. Do-do-do. Get all this stuff out the bags. All the rolly bits. Too late for that pile. All the rolly bits go in a little bin. See what it's like when you have space? I can reach my garbage can. It's nice. Alright. And we're going to have to bring back a little lander there. Because apparently, whoa, rolly bit. There are a lot of rolly bits in here. Alright. Kind of pull some stuff apart. I may actually have to reverse my reversal. Just because I think it's going to work better. Honestly and truthfully. Let's do that. Like I said, just trying out new spaces. Really got tied up with work this afternoon and into the evening, so there was at one point a risk that I was just going to be like, alright, this is not going to happen. But crisis averted. All is well. Alright, shove all this crap out of the way, bring the lander back in. Ta-da! And this was really a cool build. It was kind of neat to see it come together this way. Let's just start diving in. Find all the bits. Wow, rolly pieces. Holy crap. 2 of these. 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, 8 of them. Where are we dropping these in? So these are going on top of... Alright, this might be a me thing. So I'm trying to see, based on this, it's because we skipped step 80. So excited to get this done and check it out. Get it displayed where I want it. Let's skip this step. Sometimes this isn't a step, that's why. Like the instructions occasionally are like, oh, remember this? Yeah, that's where you were. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3. Where is piece number 4? There it is. And then 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had some excitement today, weather-wise, around here. At one point, not just my lights, which I have tied to if this then that, if there's severe weather in the area or rain or anything, they'll blink red. But my phone went off with a flash flood warning. So it was like, for real, serious stuff is going on. It made everybody jumpy and nervous. So let's see. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, and 2, and 1 in the middle. Gotcha. So we do this. This. This is where you got to kind of adjust these a little bit so that it fits. Yeah. So that'll help stabilize that. Again, a lot of actual like engineering and architecture and thought goes into building and designing a set long before it ever reaches anyone's grubby little hands. Drop all this in there. Yeah, so it was kind of wild. We had some pretty torrential downpours for a little bit this afternoon. I sit right under a skylight that's like right above me, and when that happens, I kind of think about moving downstairs maybe, because it's really loud and more than a little unnerving when it happens. Just kind of really makes you think about the only thing between me and the elements right now is glass that can be easily shattered by flying objects, and situated in such a way that it will dump directly on my skull. So yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. Alright, now this makes a lot more sense. So now we do this infinitely smarter. Just trying to figure out where the heck do they want me to hang these things. They want you to hang them on the ends of this. Oh, your dad mentioned it coming through the southern tier. You got the same one here. Yeah, so it hit you this morning. It hit us like dinner time here. So it was like just before Anita got home from work, just before we had decided we were going to go out to dinner. We did the old people thing. We went to Cracker Barrel. It's decent food. It's cheap. Oh, it's not as cheap as it used to be. But it is good. You know, 3 people can eat for 35, 40 bucks without anybody having to say, no, we can't buy something because it's, you know, outside the budget today. I know, as soon as I said that, it's like Cracker Barrel is $40. And it did kind of surprise me. They did raise their prices recently. But still, like I say, it's not terrible. 2, 4, 6, 7, where's number 8? Oh, number 8. Someone was trying to tell me that this was the remnants of the hurricane, but that seems too soon. Did someone say soon? I think that's not supposed to reach us until the weekend. I'm picking out round things that I know are going to roll as I flick things around looking for other bits. One moment, please. Alright, where's my other plate? There it is. It's 8. Then I need 8 threes. 1, 2, 3. There's 6, 7, and 8. Alright, 3 and 2. And those go, they go on the fronts. So they go here, along the side. And then the front, like so. So you get that. It works. So I realized when I was trying to figure out what I want to do, once I get back from work trip next week, and I'll probably start on it this weekend and get, you know, some of this stuff squared away. I realized I still have my old PC, the one I used to game and stream on, which is still a Core i7. It still has a GTX 970 in it, so it's a pretty decent box to just stream lightweight stuff like this. So I think it's going to get moved and shoved under that desk back there, and then that'll be Lego-y stuff. I even have like another camera that I can set up there. It's not a 920, it's a 635, but I'm this big. How high def do you need me to be? Ooh, gold shiny bits. Oh, cool. NASA fun fact. The foil on the lunar lander was used for thermal and micrometeoroid protection. Like dust. I don't think people think about that. You know, when you're in space and stuff is traveling, you know, without an atmosphere to slow it down, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles an hour, a dust particle is a bullet. It'll just kind of go through you. It's kind of scary when you think about it. All right, I need 8 of these little guys. I need 8, 8, and 30 flipping 2 of the others. I'll be counting for a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. So there's 8. Fired a micrometeoroid at myself. 6, 8. Once again, AFOLs all over America are going, ah! What are you doing? Why isn't that sorted? 7, 10, 12. 20. This is like most of the stuff. 22. 24. 28. Holy guacamole. Oops. I knew something got stuck under there. 29, 30, 32. Basically, I'm pretending it's aluminum foil and we're wrapping the spacecraft in it. And it's the same pattern everywhere. So let's see. We need 2 down. Oh man, these are like in little crevices down here. These little cheese pieces. These little cheese wedge pieces. And why are they called cheese wedges? Because they kind of look like little cheese wedges when you look at them. Little cheese wedges. Put that. And then we're going to go horizontally across. Some very shiny gold. We'll do this. We gotta do this on 4 sides of this sucker. But it's definitely going to give it that kind of shiny gold color that the lander had. No question about it. I know a lot of people that buy sets specifically because it has 1 or 2 super rare parts. If you're looking for gold tiles, this is the set for you. Plenty of them. All sorts of packed up. These are tough because they're slippery and at a weird angle. And they're going in that little hole. But I think it's neat. To give you an idea of like how much, I'm trying to find the right word, how much patriotism, I don't know if that's the right word, certainly profiteerism, is going on around the Apollo 11 50th anniversary. The little country store that all Cracker Barrels have, it's just, they had like a whole section. T-shirts and cups and mugs and all sorts of crazy stuff. They also had Halloween stuff, so my brain was in complete revolt. It's like, no, it's July. Why do you have Halloween stuff out? They had like haunted house decorations and, oh, evil, evil people. Hasn't even been Labor Day yet. Walked into Lowe's the other day, same deal. And like just mountains of crap they were starting to put out for Halloween and fall, and like, I just got my garden planted and blooming. Don't wish it dead already. No. Evilness. Ooh, it's so shiny. Shiny, shiny gold bits. I was even thinking, you know, I think in a perfect world, there'd be 3 cameras in this particular kind of stream. You'd have, you know, this one, and then you'd have this one, but only you'd want it like over, so you'd want it hanging right here. And then you'd want another one kind of shooting across at a lower level, I think. I don't know. So that you get that kind of that third view and you sort of split screen it. So you're looking at kind of a top down of the build, and then you're looking at the side views. And I don't know. I was just thinking about that earlier. It would be kind of neat. You know, like the whole ground level view kind of thing. It would be spiffy. Oh, this is just going to make that hole deeper that I have to put these stupid wedges in. No. Get in the hole. It's your home. Don't you want to go home? There it is. Yes, I made a Happy Gilmore reference. I feel like I should like do penance now. It's one of the few Adam Sandler movies I actually enjoy, like legitimately like. True story, bro. I'm not an Adam Sandler fan. Never really have been. And I met the guy. He seemed nice enough. Just not a fan of his movies. Oops. It's falling apart. Houston, we have a problem. Nope, wrong mission. There, this. Then we need, oh, this is kind of a funky new part. I don't think I've seen one of these before. That's different. Kind of neat. Sort of an offset loop in it. And this. And this. Followed by. It's not new, but I don't see them very often. That. So it kind of looks like a shock absorber now. I kind of get a feeling that that might just be what we're going for here. With that. Huh. Is it up or down? It's hard to tell. Looks like it could be up. It does have a slight bend to it. There we go. Got a feeling this is kind of working out towards the landing gear. I want to do that again. Badoink. Yeah, okay. It's weird because they're showing this one sort of being built backwards. Like, wait a minute, you have confused me. And then this on the outside. I think that was their point. And then this, and that. My phone is ringing at 11 o'clock at night. Means one of two things. It is neither. So we're good. Alright, now I gotta do this 3 more times. I do think that's landing gear-esque. Right? Don't we think so? It's gonna end up here. I think. Pretty sure. Maybe not. Oh, I see. It's going to end up like that. I gotcha. And then I can go up there. Spiffy keen. Look at that. Definitely landing gear supports. Totally landing gear supports. Alright, so that means I need 3 more of these. These. Landing gear. Yep. Actually, so what I should do is I should build 3 of those and then turn the page and build 3 of the other ones. Because that would be thinking ahead, planning, creative. Proving I have the right stuff. Actually, the right stuff's like $100 and a trip to the Lego store. That's all you need. They will hook you up. So we're up. Get one of those. And we gotta get one of these. That's one. Uh-oh. There it is. 2. So anything interesting happened today while I was heads down going crazy? Anything exciting? Anybody get nominated for anything unbelievable, super cool, outrageous, and amazing? You must fill out all categories, by the way. I mean, I had a pretty breathtaking day. We went to Cracker Barrel. I challenge you to beat it. Uh-huh. Where are my other ones? There it is. So that's all three of them. We got 1, 2. That's 2. This. Mostly doing job hunt things and playing lots of DDO. Oh, you're playing a lot of DDO. What are we bouncing back and forth between DDO and Lotro, or just changing it up, break up the monotony of a single MMO? I get that way sometimes. Like, as much as I might be like really into the MMO I'm playing, I'll be like, I think I need to play a different MMO for a little while. Not necessarily an extended period of time, but just something different, so it feels a little bit less repetitious. Because MMOs can be extremely repetitious. They really can. It's kind of the hallmark of the genre. That's 3. Oh, it's DDO day on their stream. And then suddenly it's, yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot too in MMOs. I'm just going to pop in. I'll just run a couple of quests. Maybe I'll do this thing over here, and then it's midnight. Totally understand what that's like. My brain is. There it is. Oops. There we go. Good stuff. Add that into there. Yeah, that just kind of turn that. That's a little worrisome. There's that. Do a couple more of these. 1, 2 more. 1. The other one. Hello. Calling round thing that I don't see. There it is. 2 of them. 2 more of the other Doohickazoids, which my little blind brain and eyes aren't seeing. Well, actually, I just need 1 more. There it is. I need 2 more. What am I saying? 1, 2. La la la. 2. So there's 1. Where the other one went? This point where there it is. Wow. Pattern blindness. I got 2 of those. You're looking at the same pattern too long, and you just can't see it anymore. All right. So this, like so. So are you trying to like actually level a character and play serious, or is it just break-taking game for you in DDO? Because I get that. Like I said, I get the let's change it up thinking. Drop that. And presto. We got four little new doohickeys. Alright. Coolness. Oh, hey, look. More gold stuff. All the gold. If it was real gold, I wouldn't mind. So I need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I trimmed my nails and they're only just starting to come back, so sometimes it's hard to pick up some of this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8. 4, 8. And then what do we need? 1, 2. 3, 4. Nope. Just wanted to take their new iconic for a spin. Finally found it was wrecking faces far more than mine. And is it? I mean, does it really like make that much of a difference? Alright, so what are we making? Ah, neat. Alright, so we're going to say this. Ah, see, this is what I hate about 1x1 plates. They never go on straight. They always go on crooked. So here's a trick. Flat level surface. Ta-da! And then you have no problems getting the rest of them on. So I gotta do that 4 times. Having a decent weapon matters. Well, not to be too on point, but duh. It kind of matters everywhere. In real life and virtual. Do you have the right weapon? Come on down to Bob's Armory today. Yep, yep. That's what, 1, 2, 3. Still a little bit out of whack. Let's level them out. Some of this will level out when you actually put it on where it's going to end up, but I'll help it out. And that, straighten them out. All right, so there's those 4. All right, and then shockingly enough, 4 the other way. Do, 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 do. So next week, I will be in Los Angeles. Sunday night through... I knew it was going to go. I knew it would eventually run out of battery. So about that long. and what... or not. Yeah, I think it's dying. And it's just... That's funny. Oh, now it's going to be like a laser light show. Doo-doo, doo-doo. So that was 35 minutes and 25 seconds at max power. This is going to be trippy. I'm going to turn that off because now it's a flippin' strobe. It's also about 18,000 degrees. Holy crap, these things get hot. I may not be able to turn it off because I may not be able to hold it long enough. There it goes. All right, so I'm sorry it just got really dark. My grand plan has failed. That thing's really hot. So future reference, don't use a LumaCube for primary light source. Holy smokes. They're super ridiculously intense, which is great, and super great if you're doing like lighting to set up a photo shoot or something. They can function as a slaved strobe, which is really cool. But for extended periods, they're not really made for extended periods like a video shoot or a live stream. So I cannot blame the device. I was frankly using it improperly. So honestly, I'm surprised we got 35 minutes out of a cube that had an unknown charge state, and I was using it at full power. at the full 1500 lumens, which they say don't do. So yeah, I'm impressed. For literally every photographic use under the sun that I've ever tried, it's like the ultimate tool. It has gels and filters and diffusers. In fact, there's a diffuser on it now. Let's see how we're going to put this in there. All right, so these are going to go. Oh, really? Yeah, I think so, huh? Oh, I see what they're saying. They're going to go this way. This way. It's going to go that way. That's going to be annoying flopping around like that. And it's going to go that way. So you make an arch. And there. Also on the other side, I have a really nice light. So, but travel and doing things and parking stuff and projects. And just haven't kept that space very tidy. I think I actually posted a few months ago the space clean. It was like, this will not last. And it did not at all. It lasted maybe 3 weeks. My problem is, and it's bad because I know a cluttered workspace is supposed to be like really, really bad for your state of mind, and you can't like focus and stuff like that. I like to have things like where I want them so I can reach them all the time. That's why you have this mess. That's actually my headphones and the mic and the edge of my USB ports and all sorts of crap over there. I mean, that's my iPhone charger. So I just like to have everything where I can reach it, and the end result is I end up building like this wall of stuff around me. It's a horrible habit, and I really need to break it. So other than this does not bring me joy technique, I'm open to suggestions. Check that out. You know what? So I think, so this is clearly the lower half, the descent module. I think we're going to end up with the ascent module clipping in here, the part that they actually left the lunar surface with. Yeah, that's going to be so cool when this is done. It's got weight too, by the way. This is not light. Contrary to popular belief, Lego is not lightweight. It is fairly dense. Let's see. So we need flag, this side, 2 clips here. They appear to be the only 2 clips. And then 4 standoffs, basically. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 standoffs, 2 clips. Got it? Legs time, so we're going to make 3 legs. And then she'll have legs. 3 there. That's true. I've never seen your mission control set up. At one point, I envisioned this whole thing where, and I think it's going to happen now that I remembered that I had just shoved my old PC in a closet. At one point, I had this vision where I had a full-on gaming setup on one side, and then over there I had a full-on build space and video space and photography and stop motion space. And I think that's going to happen, but I think in order to make it happen, I'm going to have to be like hyper disciplined to keep it that way, so that it just doesn't become this nightmarish disaster mess, basically. let's see. Let's go there. Ooh, look, shiny metal piece. Chromed. And we'll spin it. Spindly legs, just like the real deal. That is what we are building. Spindly, spindly legs. Yeah, there's a reason why I blurred that background. It's like a bomb went off back there. But that's okay, because it was a Lego bomb. That's only half joking, because I did have a bunch of stuff fall on me. Well, not on me, but fell due to wind, believe it or not. Before summer got into full swing, I had the windows open. It was nice. We had a nice cross breeze between the window over on that side and the skylight here, which is, this skylight actually cranks open. So it was really cool. It was really kind of like nice to have nice cross breeze. Yeah, that's spiffy, isn't it? Am I still building more on that, or? Oh yeah, it's gotta have more bits. More kibbles and bits and bits. So it was really nice, but it got super, super windy one day. And that turned out not to be a good thing. Because it blew in, and the wind sort of blew along the wall behind me. I had stuff stacked there. So when it hit and blew, there's kind of a wind tunnel effect that got created, and it blew a lot of stuff out. And it just sort of went fine. I was not a happy man. There was no joy in Mudville that day. And it was kind of funny, because I often see people post online about how, you know, the cat knocked over their Super Star Destroyer, 5,000 piece set, or took out the Millennium Falcon or whatever. And I'm like, what are you people doing? And then I'm looking at it going, well, I now have an infinitely relatable story because I know what they're doing now. Nothing, it's just crap happens. And that goes there. We have a lunar landing leg. Look at that. That's kind of neat. So it's just going to go in the end here. That's super trippy cool. And it probably is going to end up being, I'm going to guess, something like that. Look at that, it even has stresses, so it's going to be countered. This is cool. I'm enjoying this from just kind of a nerdy, the build is neat kind of thing. So I always like it when I'm building something, I'm kind of watching and going, oh, that's cool how they did that, or that piece. I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have used that technique, or I wouldn't have built something that way, or I'd have done it differently, or it's clever how this thing got made with those parts. And that's one of the things I really, really enjoy. Just the creativity of the design itself. I got some smart folks over in Denmark there, don't you know? Nope, not that. This. If this, then that. Whoop. It went flying. Of course, with the lights out, I have no idea where it went, so. It's because it went under the page. You just have a green wall that you have been tempted to hang art on. Yeah, but that'll kill your green screen effect, right? Then you won't have that really cool, naturally occurring green screen, which I think is kind of badass, personally. Zip. My problem is this is kind of our only. I don't even know what kind of space to call it. This is kind of only our only stuff space, and it's sort of it has like 5 life goals. It's my office, it's my Lego build space, it's a home theater. I wish it were some other things as well, but there's a point at which even a large room like this, you can only practically fit so much crap in it and try to serve so many different purposes before it's just one giant cluster. And it has at times reached that point. So it's a case where I've either got to say, all right, this room is going to be these 2 things, or exclusively that thing, or nothing more than, you know, whatever. Or just say, you know what, we're not going to have this. Because it can't be everything. There's just not enough room for that, right? It's 2. Move these over. Number 2. I like how fast people leave. It's like I see the count go up, and then I see the count go down. And it's like, in and out. It's like, we're here, we're gone. Yes, it's like hyper geekiness. Run away while you still can. I was watching a stream the other day, and someone was asking, how do you get the biggest audience you possibly can? And I was really happy that the person hosting the stream said, you stream the biggest game of the moment, even if you hate it and you're miserable all the time. But if you want to have a stream you want to do every day, and you want to have a good community that's there hanging out because of you, that's sustainable, you stream what makes you happy, because that comes through. I was like, that was really smart. I see so many people talking about, oh, I got to get good at Fortnite, or I got to get good at Apex, or something, and then I'll have a good stream. It's like, nah, have a good stream because you're doing something you enjoy, or you like, or you want to do. You don't have to do, what other people say. Do your thing. I don't know about a lot of people, but personally, that's what I look for. That's what I watch. I watch people that interest me, not necessarily what they're doing. I follow people and watch people who, play games that I don't particularly enjoy. I enjoy the personality of the person playing the game, so I watch them. And I was really glad to see someone kind of convey that sentiment to a new or new-ish, I'm not really sure how new they were, streamer. Because I think that gets lost. Everybody's out trying to make a buck, instead of going out and saying, you know what, this is what I'm going to do to have a little fun on Tuesday. Because that's how I look at it. I come out here, have a little fun. If you don't like what I stream, don't watch it. If you like what I stream, hang out. And if you don't like me, I can send you the address of a club you can join. There's a whole bunch of people that don't like me. Won't hurt my feelings. I have an anti-fan club. I'm good with that. No issues with it whatsoever. Alright, so strangely enough, it says not this one. I don't know why. But yes, this one. And yes, this one. Odd. Alright, so look with that. Alright. Right. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Hang on. It's that one they wanted to. I don't get this. If you were going to hang art on your green wall, what kind of art do you put on a green wall? Wouldn't you kind of have to paint the wall first? Trying to picture things that would look good on a green screen level green wall, you know? I love how they're showing this as being kind of built the other way, you know? Whereas like before everything was going this way, now we're going the other way. Now I understand why they had you build 3, because we're going to build the plaque that's on the leg of the limb. That's why. We're going to put that on there, and then we're going to take the plaque number 6, which is kind of neat. It's got the "We Came to the Moon" plaque on it, which if I remember correctly, is signed by Richard Nixon. Sorry, world. It's just how it goes sometimes. Was it Nixon or Johnson? I'm not sure. 69? Troy is going to be at Gen Con. Oh yeah, it makes sense that Troy would be at Gen Con. That's cool. Can I say hello? I will not be at Gen Con. I don't think I've ever been to Gen Con. I think even when I was at Turbine, if someone, usually Tolero, Amanda would go, just as a matter of course, and she would kind of rep both games. But I've never been. Yeah, he's working for Green Ronin. Yep. Tolero and Rob both were at Gen Con. Yeah, I think Tolero just goes every year because she's a fan. So when I was there, we used to just capitalize on that. Be like, oh yeah, she's going. While you're there, do us a favor. Hand out some of these, hand out some of those. Run up a really big bar tab. And the company will pay for it. Dunk. And dunk. And there's the Lunar lander leg with the plaque on it. Right? Yep, that looks right. And then so these go behind. This will be interesting. So these actually go back here, and not out front where I would have thought they went. Instead they go there. Yeah. Nope. Here. Here. There we go. And there. I get these all synced up. I'll show you where they're actually attaching that. There. And there. So if you look, there's actually 2 ball heads down there. I went on the back ones. I thought they were going to end up on the front ones. But they did not. Alright. Now we kind of have a lunar landery looking thing-ish. An actual, like, springy legs. add and then we're going to add another round of these to give it additional support and de-springy the legs a little bit. We're going to do this. You get a nice, that's pretty sturdy. This year's to-do is supposed to be more formalized than the past couple of years. That's what Jerry's been hinting at. That'll be cool. I don't think Gen Con was ever fully given the support that it should have been given specifically for DDO, since, I mean, let's face it, if there's a place where DDO people naturally accumulate and that game should really get special attention and treatment, that's it. You know, maybe more so than anywhere else. Right, spiffy. Cool. That's like cool. I'm always like, I think back to some of the things that we used to do, and why we stopped, and the reasons for it. It's like some of them make perfect sense from a business standpoint. And some of them make absolutely no sense from a community standpoint. And this is like the eternal struggle, right? Of business needs versus community needs. And sometimes you don't always have people that understand that community needs are business needs, which can be a problem. All right, so we got that. Now, we have a place for Neil to descend. I don't seem to remember it being over the plaque. Maybe. Maybe it was. I don't know. I wasn't there. And I'm way too young to have remembered. Well, it's something worth looking up, I think. You think it would require much more promotion for the WotC peeps to subsidize it? I don't know. I don't know that you need a big to-do, but I think something, right? I don't think you always need a booth, especially for an older game. Especially if you're not really plugging an expansion or something that you feel is going to make like multiple times the return on. But I do think you need to be cognizant of the fact that there is an expectation of something happening. And that failure to meet that expectation can have very negative consequences, like super negative consequences. Okay. I heard the TV on downstairs. There we go, through the hole. If someone threw money at Gen Con, they'd move Heaven and Earth for the game. Yeah, but would they? I mean, at the end of the day, Gen Con's got to make a buck, too. How much real support do you think there is there? Really? That's how that goes in? Alright. And now we have... our lander has an engine. And it's very wobbly. Need to make 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, and they need to go in the think we're going to find these are part of the mechanism that will serve as detents for now they want it on the base plate. Yay. So remember I said before, leftovers. This is what makes Lego maddening at times. They're intentional, because little parts get lost. Alright, let's see. You're going to need to move. Alright. That goes there. And then, as predicted, the circles are where the landing pads go. That's kind of neat because the little studs on the bottom rest in them. That's cool. We're getting there. I'm going to swap out the part holding thing for the lem right now. I now realize what a couple of those little things are. They're footprints. Just keep getting the impression that the studio operates on an indie budget. We aren't seeing anything about corporate money keeping the game afloat like EA throwing money at BioWare. Awesome. Well, I mean, if you think about it, even their partner, even their publisher, is an indie studio. I mean, they don't have a major publisher, like, backing them. They don't have an EA or a Warner Brothers or whatnot. They have a highly experienced and capable publisher, but it's not like they've got an EA, right? The deep pockets of an EA. And the fact that, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Daybreak is largely investor funded at this point, I think. So it's not even like there's huge money there. You know, they have to answer to their investors. It's not like a ton of deep pockets. Which I guess, you know, you can make that argument about EA as well, but EA is a publicly traded company, so they have to focus on stock price, but they've got pretty deep pockets in and of themselves. I don't think it's apples and oranges. Oh, so PlanetSide and EQ might be going their own indie path. That'd be interesting. I can't imagine them spinning out. I mean, certainly EverQuest is probably their most valuable property. Spinning that off seems odd. Unless they're going to break the company down into, like, publisher and studios, maybe. I don't know. I'm totally spitballing here. I don't know a thing that I'm talking about. Legs. Found random legs on the moon. The headlines, they wouldn't tell you. There were random legs on the moon. So you kind of got to look at, you know, of the known partnerships, where would major investments really come from? As far as I know, they're, and again, I don't actually know, I'm guessing. As far as I know, they're their own beast, largely. Oh yeah, if anybody's going to spin anything off, there's definitely going to be announcements. Man, that's a lot of stuff. Wait, I have an extra bag of stuff. I have more stuff! Fortunately, I have more of these. These are just little lifesavers. They're so handy. They should. And they stack. Sell landmark and its tech to someone to restart it on a private. So the problem with that is who's going to buy it and who's going to be able to fund running something like that. It's huge dollars that we're talking about to run a server farm every month. All right, that goes in there. Oh, I had mentioned when we got to building the second one that we check out who do you think is Neil and who do you think is Buzz. Just, it's kind of obvious if you've seen photos of them somewhat regularly who is who. So let me just kind of, all right. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Who would be who? To me, it's kind of obvious. With that smirk, it can only be Buzz. And the serious guy is Neil. Buzz is kind of smirky. He's that kind of guy. He's got the smirk going on. Yeah, see, we're making the return module now. Let me take this. Sorry, spare parts and stickers. Need to go over there. See my shirt? I can never do this. I always get it backwards. It's a very cool used Lego store near me called Bricks and Minifigures. Right, so that's the thing. You've got a community member with their own business, pretty wealthy, but couldn't come up with a business plan to do it legally and pay employees a fair wage to run it. And that's the thing. Everyone, you know, until you get into, and even if you've been at like traditional game studios, until you get into an MMO studio and start actually working on an MMO, you don't really grasp how completely different the rules are. Like it's not even apples and oranges. It's really not. Make sure the only thing that was on that page was him. Yep. All right. They're just so completely different. You know? Right, exactly. The live services is one giant snot ball of pain that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you will screw it up, you will go bankrupt, and you will piss off a tremendous number of people in the process. Period, full stop. And that's not being critical of anyone. That's just the reality of live services. It is not easy. Don't do live services, kids. One thing when I first started at Turbine, they had a lot of IT turnover when I started. And at one point they actually came to me and was like, hey, we'll pay you more money. It's like, no. I watched what the IT guys have done here. Yes, I know what they're doing. Yes, I know how to do it, but oh hell no. There's zero possibility I want to be that guy. That was very, very, very early on. And at that point, I had already realized that, you know, I come from an IT background prior to coming here, but that does not necessarily translate the way you think it might sometimes. I cannot find this piece. It is such a radically different application of things you know that they've almost become completely different. But I don't know where this piece is. Look, there's a door. There's a door. There's two doors. Oh, this is very frustrating. Nope. What about in here? Oh no. Isn't that interesting? I don't know. Yeah, if it was somehow a game that you could just install and load and play on your own machine, it's a totally different story. Well, I cannot find this piece. I'm pretty upset about that. I'm sure it's here. Probably. It was stuck to another piece. Although I kind of wonder if that's it. It doesn't look like... It looks like the flat version of that, not the rounded version. But I see that even less. So we're going to go with the rounded version and hope. Because I really do think that's supposed to be the flat version. Yeah, big time. Big time. I'll just skip ahead and see what it's supposed to look like. Is there another one? Is there... No, I guess that really is it. It's just the one. There isn't another like it. I guess that's it. Let's see. Yep, that's it. The image does not convey the proper shape of the piece. It does not. Get two of these. One. Not bad. Oh, why do you have to bring up ice cream? That's uncalled for. Ice cream is good. I'll take some ice cream. I will totally scream. Happily and with glee and joy in my heart. Whoa, snap. And flip. Flip, 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 Fantasia. Flats. I feel like I'm missing a bag. Nope. Yes, you are evil. Oh, great, and you're actually going to go get ice cream. Fine, be that way. Bring enough for the room when you return. Really do feel like there's a bag missing. Oh. Here they are. Because they're gray, not black. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Correct. Exactamundo, and then we need these. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Ah, more decals. Too many stickers. Come here, sticker people. Alright. So we need 2, 4, 3. 2, 4, 3. 2, 4, 3. Let's go with 2. Two exists twice. Oh, they all exist twice. Okay. There's 2 of each. So how do these... So we have 2. Hyper annoying. I really hate it. Sticker placement. Not horrible, not great. 2, 4. This way. Sometimes this is like beyond annoying. Two, 4, and 3. Just gonna on the bottom down here. All right, and then flip it over. I really hate that. I do not like stickers. I do not like them in a plane. I do not like them in a train. I do not Like than Sam I am. This. Alright. We built 2 pieces. 3. Side. 3, 1. 3, 1, 4. 1. 2. And then 2 of the pokey bits. 1 and 2. Alright, so 4. Because that's just weird. 2, 4. Great. And the because I'm evil, now I've got Queen Whatever I Want to Be's song in my head. I'm totally East Evil Queen. I feel fully justified in having these songs stuck in my head since the day after seeing the Lego Movie 2, Anita went out and bought a catchy song. Yes. We were looking for something to watch the other night. She's like, I'd watch Lego Movie 2 again. Works. It goes on here, like so. Right. Another one of these. Another one of these. One of these. So that gives us this. This. And that. Yep. 1, 2. Hey, you know what's on right now? If you have Stars Encore, you could be watching Miami Vice. You could, ain't no lie. You can watch it on demand too. Discovered that by accident the other night. Hey Sam, how are you? When I was a kid, I got a Lego medieval castle for Christmas. Oh, I'm jealous. Brother built it for me. Maybe I asked to because it was advanced. It was just something he wanted to do. I'm not really sure as I don't remember. Could have been both. I mean, the castle's pretty big sets. They had a lot of pieces. I mean, depending on how old you are. When you get them, that can be intimidating. Having so many pieces and not thinking you can do it. I would totally believe that. And of course, she probably wouldn't be the first big brother in the world to say, no, no, that's too hard for you. I'll do it, because they want to build Lego and not make it seem like they're playing with toys. They're helping their little brother. You would not be alone, nor the first. Now I have unbelievable, super cool, outrageous, and amazing stuck in my head. What are you gonna do? Oops. But this is pretty complex. I mean, this is... I'm really kind of surprised at some of the builds and the sub-builds in here and how much detail is in it. I mean, I probably shouldn't be, but I am. There is quite a lot to it. I mean, my guess right now is those are probably maneuvering engines. By the way, Sam, Druid's Fire went out to get us all ice cream. So remind her when she gets back that she owes you ice cream. That was the deal, right? Oh, he was 8 years older than you. Yeah, there wasn't really a lot you were going to do to stop him. Yeah, if he decided this is how he was going to help you, you were totally sidelined at that point. Some more what I'm guessing are going to be fuel tanks. Yeah, my brother is 10 years older than me, so I get it. You know, like when I was 10, he was an adult. He was a 20-year-old, right? Kind of looks like a weird Star Wars speeder bike thing. I mean, there's handlebars and sort of a seat, and I mean, it's part of the LEM, but kind of got a trippy shape. Interesting. I had to go buy razors today. I work from home, so I shave infrequently. And I was like, holy crap, heart attack. Even like the cheapy razors have gotten stupidly expensive. And I say that with every bit of condescension and rage that I can muster. Because seriously, it's out of control. The very idea that it should cost you $30 to buy 8 razor blades, give me a break. And I even have Harry's, which are supposed to be half the price, but are never, ever, ever in stock. I can never find them in the store. Ever. It's almost like they don't really exist. Fun thing, I used to inherit his clothing. I became a bit broader shoulder than him, so as adults he inherited mine. Ah, that's funny. That's a kind of revenge right there. It's like, yes, now you will wear my clothing. Ha ha ha. I get the first run clothing, and you're the one that has to look weird with your slightly out of fashion clothes. Right? Wait a minute. Sam, we've been lied and deceived. We were told ice cream, and we end up with, what was it? Mini cupcakes and chocolate-covered donuts. Donuts will work. we we were at Cracker Barrel, and Anita says to me, she's like, "Are you going to eat those?" And she points to the corn muffins. I was like, yeah, I want to, but I don't think I'm going to. So they came home. 3 guesses what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow. Corn muffin. There is nothing better than a good corn muffin, for the record. Say possibly a fantastic waffle. I don't think so. Ah. I do not believe so. So if that goes there, then that can't go there because they overlap. They can't overlap. Or do they go there? Ah, they go up one. Okay. Gotcha. They go there. That's a thing that can happen, right? No, they go the other way. I'm so confused right now. Give that back so it doesn't go that way. It goes this way. It goes on the second row, which is that one. Ta-da! There we go. I got it! All right, I look up and all I'm seeing in chat is Druid's Fire used add permitted term strip. Not even sure I want to know the story here. Just sometimes things out of context in chat. We just say no, kids. Just say no. Oh, I got to build a whole other one of these? That thing was kind of a pain in the butt to build. All right, there we go. All the way back through the friggin' stickers and blah, blah, blah. Back to here. Ah, it's like a coda in the middle of a song, right? Sam was talking about a comic strip and Automod reared its ugly head. Oh. My headcanon was much better than the reality. It's like, there are commands in here I don't know or want to know about. Automod has a thing against apples and pears. Well, you know, you can't just walk into a chat and start throwing around your apples and pears, Sam. What's next? Peaches? I mean, you know, gotta have limits. And especially these horrible, horrible stories about pear stripping and the exploitation of naked apples. Just can't do it. Alright, we gotta do the 2, 3, 4 thing again. And the same dealio. 2, 3, 4. Sorry, which way does it go? Let's put that up. 2. 4. I'm so glad there's only a few more stickers left. Yes, I'm going to grump every time I have to put stickers on. Reminds me of the Beetle Bailey comic where the chef tells that it will be apples instead of pears that was written on the menu board. But I had prepared for pears, says the Sarge. And you see his mouth in a pear shape. I haven't seen a Beetle Bailey comic in ages. That's seriously old school. That even makes me go, that might be a little bit before my time. Maybe finding out Sam's a lot older than we think he is. It's like that here. We prepared for ice cream and you came with donuts. Totally. I'm with Sam. We were prepared for ice cream. And we have been denied. In the immortal words of Glenn Close, I will not be denied. You will not simply ignore me. And then bad things happen to rabbits. I was watching, what's it on? CNN? They have a new series called The Movies, where it goes like 80s, 90s, and whatever. It's not the decades show where it's just about like the technology and the fashions or whatever the decades. It's just about movies of those decades. I've seen two now. I've seen the 80s and the 90s. It's a pretty good show if you happen to be in the mood and have access to CNN. It's very well done. Some really good interviews too. Da-da-da. I think what Sam is trying to say is that we feel betrayed, lied to, and deceived. Is that about right, Sam? Because I know I do. Nom nom nom. Nom 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 nom. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do do do. Now that song's stuck in my head. My brain is on a cruelty loop. I go from Phenomena getting stuck in my head to, as soon as I said that song's stuck inside my head, the Lego song is now stuck inside my head. And in my brain it will remain. It's just how my brain works when it works at all. Uh-oh. There it is. Like, how did I screw that up? I'm as old as the meaning of life, universe, and everything. Nicely done. Nicely done. Not quite up there, but getting there. I enjoyed my 40s. My 40s were fun. I feel like that's when all the really cool stuff happened. The adventure parts of my life happened in my 40s. Still feels like I'm building a Lego spaceship. It's like one of the old ones. Something out of Star Wars, maybe. These little sled-looking things. I realize they're sides of the lemon, but still. Sam is the answer to the question. See, and all this time I thought it was Allen Iverson that was the answer. Sports ball reference. That was super random, too. Poor Sam. It's like, Allen Iverson? Who the hell's that? Now watch, Sam's gonna like blow me away and be like the ultimate basketball fan. Or like really, really fast at Googling things. Well, enjoy it while you can. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy it while you can, Sam. Because next year, it's just a number. Life, the universe, and everything will have lost all meaning. Nope, no, it's these little ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. 6. 1. 1. Let's see. Where's that nose? 6, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. Yep, there we go. From now on, call me the Guru Swami. No, the Guru Swami of Chandraputra. Hell no. Next birthday, you become Richard Petty's famous NASCAR number. That's true. Become 43. The Petty family's famous NASCAR number. Because Kyle drove it as well. Basketball to NASCAR to just all over the map. That should be a dark green, black. Right? Yes. So I guess I should ask, who or what is the Guru Swami Chandraputra? I'm not even sure I'm saying that right. And does he have really cool mystical powers, and is that why you want to be him? Because if he does, I totally get it. Ruh-roh. Rough Road Gorge. Oh, there it is. I forgot to put one on. Happens. Alright, so there's two. Then we take this. Right there. This. Together. Right. Now we've made like Yoda's flying space yacht, which actually isn't far from the truth. Let's see. This. But it's kind of neat because if you look inside here, I'll hold it up in a second. So if you look inside, you'll notice the studs are offset. I'm willing to bet minifigures mounting points. Let's put that there. Uh-oh. Knocked one off. There. Clips. Remember on the lander, the two little posts that were sticking up? Yep. That's where it clips in. Like so. Rockafoo, baby. Rockafoo. Let's get two of these. Two of these. One of these. One. One of these. Little antenna. We're getting there. We're getting there. Starting to run out of pieces. Even though it doesn't look like it at all. So Guru Swami Chandraputra is a reference to the H.P. Lovecraft story Through the Gates of the Silver Key. I feel like I should know that. Two friends and a relative of Randolph Carter meet up at his estate to try and figure out what has happened to him. The mysterious Swami Chandraputra shows up and starts to tell about Randolph Carter's fate. So where I live, Sam, is about 30 minutes from H.P. Lovecraft's home. And a lot of what he wrote about is all fictionalized versions of very real places here in New England. Let's see if we can. Thanks. These little clips. Ta-da! we've lost contact with Earth. Ah! Panic, panic, panic. There we go. Communications restored. Just like that. Me and her, right? Just like that. Bam. See, now it's starting to take on a little bit of that familiar shape. Yeah. Now we're starting to see some of that kind of hexagon, octagon sort of shape thing going on. There's a lot of ons in that sense. This one different from that one? They are indeed different. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Randolph Carter's Fate. He went mad, I tell you. Loopy as a loon. Sometimes I gotta admit, worry a little bit about Lovecraft. Sometimes his stuff, you just read it and go, dude was not right. He was just, something was going on. Or about Stephen King too sometimes. What place is that stuff coming from? Because it can be a bit scary when you think about it. You know, you think about some of the stories these authors write and just, it's like, it means they're thinking of this stuff. That's not normal. Ascent stage engine. It's starting to take on that familiar shape. Sometimes it helps if you read all the bits. Trick did not, yet again. Like, why is this so lumpy? Each one of these is supposed to have two of these. Remember GMing a Call of Cthulhu adventure taking place in the future. The player characters travel to a moon base. I like it. They managed to win the adventure even though none of them survived. How do you, how do you win by dying? That seems counterintuitive. Seems very counterintuitive. 1, 2, 3. One more. Seems like dying would be losing. So you're going to need to explain that one to me, Sam. Alright, this works much better. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Never really thought of the limb as being lopsided like that, though. Oh, I guess it was. I guess so. The engine goes in, and we get one of these. So, not that one, this one. Oh, that's tricky. Not the same piece. Despite basically being the same shape. It's tricky. There we go. Ah, now we get to play with the windshield. Every space vehicle needs a good windshield to splatter space bugs on. That's what old Jack Burton says. I'm going to consolidate a little bit here. These things are like a bucket target. They work super, super well. And they're stackable. There's that. This is everything now, guys. That's all the bits. One of these. There's actually a crease in the plastic there. It's not weirdness from the camera or from the Lego. There's actually a warp right here. Oh, where'd they go? There's one and two. They stopped a monster gaining its freedom from imprisonment, but half of them died by its minions, and the other half died after it was done because they were stranded and they didn't have enough oxygen and supplies to survive. All right, that sounds cruel on your part as the GM, but I get it. Hey, when in doubt, kill the party. I'm down with it. Let me just organize this a little bit because there's so few parts left that now it's just getting a little bit frustrating. That's better. 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2. Ah, there they are. I hate these little things. I hate these little corner pieces. They're worse than cheese wedges because they're like super, super tiny. They're like, have you ever had like a prescription for a pill that you had to quarter? That's what these remind me of. They're just flipping annoying little pieces. Like that. Put that in. This really is a fun set. I gotta admit, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I don't think I've ever built a bad set. Oh, that's not true. I did build what I consider to be kind of a bad Lego set once. And I was super disappointed because it was a biplane. And I mean, it takes a lot for me to be disappointed in building an airplane. This one was kind of very disappointing. And I mean, it was only like a $10 set. It wasn't a big deal. But when I was done, I was like, nah, I don't even know if I want to put this anywhere. Call of Cthulhu can be very bleak. It was how the adventure was written. They could have survived if they had done a deal with a third party, but none of them figured it out in time. Hindsight's 20/20. It's just how it works. Sometimes you are the world grandmaster diving champion. Other times you're just stuff on a rock. And it is a very fine line between the two. Sweet. Oh, and now we slip this one in behind it. Catch it. Put that in. And there we go. Rock and roll. Almost done. There's only 84,000 pages left. No. Put that out of it. I'm sorry if I hid the... Here. Put it over here. There. That way it's not out of sight. Everyone can see it. We'll put this over there. Kind of slide that around. It's like resource management. Holy crap, it's the Lego equivalent of Lotro inventory management. Shuffle all the things around. Move all the bits. It's exactly the same. And yet, entirely different. Fill middle area. We have... Oops. Kind of get worried when they sort of just hang pieces off like that on one stud. It's like, I really hope they reinforce this somewhere down the build. Stuff is going to get really hairy later. I think I'm building an engine here. I do believe. Little vents. Well, that kind of renders the window pointless, doesn't it? Poor design. I mean, not that I imagine they figured they were going to need to be looking out a lot of windows. They were only going to moon, so, you know. On their way to the Mun, according to Kerbals. The Mun. For the record, I still have a Kerbal lost in space. I accidentally, while playing, just kind of in a freestyle sort of mood, I built a nice rocket ship, a very powerful rocket ship. And I launched a Kerbal out into space, hoping to put it into a lunar insertion orbit. Well, Math and I aren't the greatest of friends. And my Kerbal is currently in a, I think it's a 400-year elliptical lunar, solar orbit. And while technically I could rescue him, I also know he will not die. Because Kerbals, much like Goonies, never say die. Also, sticker. Just saying. Hate them with the passion. They're sticky and they're ooky, misaligned and kooky. How does that work? Oh, there we go. Control console. One of them, anyway. Proof. Now what we need. Right. There's still 2 more flippin' stickers on here. Right, now I know I am missing a part. I don't have another one of those. Rorge. Did I use one somewhere I wasn't supposed to use it? It is definitely MIA. Oh! Tucked into the corner of my little doohickazoid over here. 4. Lego meets IKEA. Yeah, pretty much. From a certain point of view, IKEA really is just grown-up Lego. It's just Lego you can use as furniture. Which is why, again, there's basically 2 things in this room. Grown-up Lego, IKEA, and actual Lego. There's 2 pieces of furniture in here. Yeah, 2 pieces of furniture in here, not including the chair, that are not IKEA. Next time I need to buy like something new, I'll do an IKEA build. With all the, it'll have to be a mature stream because of all the attendant cussing and swearing and bitching and moaning. That's not true. I actually don't usually have a problem. I don't understand the whole, oh, IKEA is so hard, it's so complicated, I don't get it, I don't know how to do it. It's like, it's a freaking picture book. How do you not know? How hard is that? I always worry when they send along spare pieces and are not clear about that they are spare pieces. Yeah. It's like, what did I miss? So I've done enough Lego where it's like, I know that there's going to be some percentage of leftover pieces, but they're always going to be small pieces. They're going to be things like this, right? And like this, or probably, you know, a little tile or something. But when you have big pieces, like you get to the end of the build and you've got this left over, you have botched something. You can have 20 or 30 pieces of the little stuff, but you get a good sized piece and it's left over, that's you've missed something big. All right, there's I'm not sure what those little space dumbbells are for, but there they are. More windowy stuff. Yeah, I just want to point out that I believe this is an OSHA violation for a spacefaring vehicle. I believe it to be very unsafe. Man, I get done with this thing and it tells me, build another one. I'm so pissed. Repeat steps 146 through 297. Not that. All right, well, oh, actually, so this is what I mean by clever build techniques. See the window? So it's just a car windshield, but it's been slowly transformed into the iconic windows from the LEM. That's pretty flippin' clever. Those Lego guys, they like know stuff. And some cabinet doors happening. Which I have a feeling is going to be like the exit, kind of the sally port. There's those. I'll go here. So now we have the exit. It's pretty slick. Two of these. There's my other one. There it is. I think most Lego builders worry about missing pieces because that just brings you to a screeching halt. I think a lot have the matching piece in their inventory of spare parts. But I think it's just one of those things where it's like, crap, finally, I'm the guy that had that happen. I've only ever had to call Lego one time about a parts issue or anything that was missing or not right with a set. And believe it or not, it was a stormtrooper who was missing his hand. He had like his right hand, but no, he had his left hand, but no right hand. And there was like no idea where it went. I mean, it's not part that you assemble, right? I mean, the hands on minifigs come pre-assembled, but his was missing. It was so incredibly random. I was more amused than I was like upset. It was like, how did he lose his hand? What part of the manufacturing process is so flippin' dangerous that my poor little Stormy lost his hand? And Lego immediately sent me not just a hand, but a whole new torso. I mean, hands come off. They're meant to come off. But sent me a whole new torso, which I thought was pretty great. We got something's not right. What have I screwed up this time? What did I not put on? Ah, there should have been this. Sorry. See, I would have had pieces left over and I've been like, what the hell? So there should have been a layer that I missed. This, that, right? That. There we go. Now that makes a lot more sense. There. Tie it in so this stuff quits feeling like it's gonna fall apart. Like that. And then over here. There we go. Good deal. Neat. Alright, so we work through this page. I put the top on it. No longer have a convertible lem. Top goes over. So, two controls. The door. Again, OSHA violation, not exactly a secure door. It's going to let all the space in. Over there. Build some engines. This. Only two of these? Okay. I will only make two of them. I have 4 engines. The others will be handled differently, I suppose. So like, I hate all the snap-on stuff, because I always feel like I'm going to snap something else off. other dish, this time with a ball socket. Flip it over. Boink. And do sort of that-ish, I guess. Like so. And which way? We're making this side with that side. Ah, the little barbells match up. So these little barbells we made match up with the clips. Snap. Now you have something that looks a lot closer to the lemon we're all familiar with seeing. So we're getting there. We're going to do one more side of the ascent module, and then we can put it on. The base is over there, so we're almost there. We're almost there. Welcome to the new folks. How are you this evening? Two more freaking stickers. Hate stickers. Hate them. Alright, I'll put this over here. See what we got. Two of those, two of these, one of those. Okay. Yep, slow but sure. Let's get these taken care of. Looking for the booby trap build 2 comment. I don't see one. There's that. And there. Let's do this may be the blockiest part, just like the most it's just blocks part that we've done the whole build. That's appears to be what they want. 2 of these. 2, 2, 4, 2. Now the other thing about spare parts that you notice when you're building sets is that sometimes it's per bag, so you'll have 3 or 4 here, you'll have 3 or 4 there. Just to keep you on your toes. Alright. Oh look, we're building more little dumbbells, because we do have another set of clips. Look at this, there's another set of clips on this side. I call them dumbbells, because that's what they look like. There's that. And alright, so this is kind of like building up a layer. So we're going to do this. 2, and then this. We got layer, straight, extension, barbell piece. This, another barbell piece. Barbell piece, like it's an actual thing. That. The random beige piece. This really is just kind of a super blocky. I think it's the back side. I think you don't actually see that side. So nobody cares. It's around the back. I don't think there were windows all the way around, were there? I don't think there were. I would need a photograph to remind me, but I think it was just the one side. Zip. That's done. Alright, we need another ball, little thing there. Square. 1x2. Socket. Okay, this. Oop. Another little antenna on there. Yep. There. There's that. Ah, sticker. Sticker I can't actually read what the numbers are. And a number 10 and a number 11. So there's 10. Foil does not make it easy. Foil makes it annoying, actually. If you've just arrived and seeing Lego stickers applied incorrectly causes you discomfort or physical pain, you should avert your eyes. Actually, that one didn't come out half bad. That one goes there. Ta-da! And then the last one. That's a happy sight. Empty sticker sheet. God, I even somehow managed to get him to line up. Look at that. It's a Lego miracle. Alright, consolidate the last few pieces down over here. You can just kind of look at this and you already know what the spare parts are going to be. It's going to be these two right here. And probably that. Alright. This is just basically building out the other two engines. There's one. And two. And then it's kind of in that glare zone. So, hey. Hey, Tamalama Ding Dong. Hey, Icky. What's up, folks? I have been raided. Thanks, Icky. Appreciate that. We're hanging out. We're building the 50th anniversary. Ouch. Yeah, totally. We're building the 50th anniversary Lego Lunar Lander set, and we're just finishing it up. We started last night. We're finishing up tonight. We've almost got it together. How did I screw that up? Oh, there it goes. All right, so there's the return module. We'll have to readjust the engines in a second. The things that make Sam nervous over here. Leftover parts. All right, so here's the rest of it that we built earlier. So there's the base. All of these, I guess. So these clips, or where these are going to clip in. Should be an actual audible. And there we go. Let's see if we can get a reposition on these. They don't look quite so weird. The ascent modules, and a couple of astronauts. And remember when I said earlier I figured out what these things are supposed to be? So these they're minifig footprints. Nice, right? Alright, so there we go. The Apollo 11 lunar module, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. It detaches from the base. About 1,100 pieces. What did that end up taking us, by the way? Let's see. So 2.5 hours a day and 2 hours yesterday, so about 4 hours. Really nice piece. It kind of fits in that it's not a toy mold. It's really almost like a scale model. There's the. I guess I should throw. I got to make sure it's. So that's Buzz, snarky Buzz, and that would be Neil. So we got to put Buzz number 2. How you doing, Yuki? I'm doing great, man. I going to LA next week for work, so that'll be good. Getting some office time next week out in Pasadena. There. So that'll be cool. Rack up a few frequent flyer miles. Head out to the not quite so oppressively hot West Coast. I don't know if you've been seeing, but man, Massachusetts is under heat advisories, and it's no good. It's just painful. Really appreciate the raid, man. So tomorrow, I actually play Lotro on Thursday nights. So usually don't stream on Wednesdays. We were finishing up this build. But tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we play Lotro over on IFL server. Anybody wants to come hang out and join that, more than welcome. What do I have, like a level 19 character I rolled up a while ago that we've just kind of been playing through. I'm throwing this away, and it makes me very happy because I hate stickers on Lego. So cool. So what have you been up to? Hey Raz, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. It has been an interesting day, an interesting 2 days building this. I really didn't think it would take 2 days. It was fun. And I now understand what this piece was. I didn't understand when we were building it, but it's actually the top window in the lem. And it does separate from the base as its own separate thing. Spiffy keen. So now I gotta find a kind of like a place of honor for it, right? So that's good. The door's open, you can go in and you can pop the sides off. There's places for the astronauts inside, control panels. Kind of neat. It is going to end up on one of the shelves behind me as a permanent kind of display piece. I have a Saturn V, which one day we'll build that as well. So we'll have the full set. It comes with little itty bitty, like this big, like the size of one of his little air tanks in the back there. They call them microfigs of all 3 astronauts, and it's 4 feet long. We'll do that when I get the full build space put together. It'll be pretty neat. But yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we'll play some Lotro. Tuesday nights we usually do Lego stuff usually play either one of the games or build something. This is the first time we've built something in a long time. Usually we just play some of the Lego games. My cup is sticky, I don't know why. And then Saturday nights we do retro stuff, and Sundays we just kind of do a potluck, really. So that's kind of my bag here. Appreciate everybody dropping over from Yiki's stream. Yiki raiding me. That's cool. How you been, man? What's going on down there? You guys must be hot too, right? Because you're down south. I think Yiki ran away on me. All right, everybody gets 5 minutes. Ask me anything. Shoot, go. It can be about when I worked for Lotro. It can be about Lego stuff. It can be about me. It can be about the ultimate meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Fire away if you have questions. Before we head out for the evening. What time is it? Holy cow, it's 1 o'clock. I probably have like a crazy schedule tomorrow too, right? Let's see. Oh, don't look at that. I forgot where the camera was. No, don't look at that. We have... Okay, this is really weird. Suddenly all my shit went one way instead of the other. That's strange. I currently have 2 versions of chat up. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's kind of weird. So Thursday... Oh, Thursday we're actually okay. I don't need to be up at the crack of dawn. So we're good. I won't be dead tomorrow when we're playing. That's a positive. I'll try and get... So I know she was downstairs playing today because I snuck down before I started the stream and I saw her. I'll try and get her to play on stream tomorrow. It will be fun. All right. And I do believe... Nope, I don't have it. I thought I had one of the other sets. So Lego's actually doing an entire summer of space. They have, in addition to this and the Saturn V, they have smaller sets, and I know I had one somewhere, that are from polybag size, which are like $4, that come with a space minifig and a satellite. They have a space shuttle set that's really huge. They have a massive lunar lander crawler thing that's kind of cool. They range everywhere from like I said, like $4, $3 for the poly bag, all the way up to $150 for an entire launch complex. And a lot of the themes are actually based on NASA's Mars themes that they're kind of exploring stuff like a Mars drone, like a drone you'd see someone flying in the park that they've designed for use in the Martian atmosphere. They've got Sam says every time someone says ask me anything, I cannot think of anything, my mind goes blank. It's pressure, man. It's performance anxiety. They've got some Mars rover kind of tech that they've got, like the basic concepts that NASA put together. They made into Lego kits. They're kind of neat. I saw them the other day at Target. I bought one of the little poly bags just to have more spacemen. I have a thing for spacemen and stormtroopers and minifigs in general. You can't see them. They're over there. They're like right behind this cup. But there's a shelf underneath my other monitor that's just like minifigs all the way around. All right, I'll ask you, Sam. How's that? I'll ask you questions. What is your favorite thing to do in the summer in Switzerland? Switzerland or Sweden? Sweden, sorry. Both you personally and in terms of just the Swiss in general. What's like a big summertime activity? Because I like learning from you guys. You know, what things you enjoy, what stuff happens where. I'm really kind of happy with this thing. It is much larger than I thought it would be. Let's do that so you can kind of, actually let's do it that way. Ta-da! Park it over here. We'll land it there. Yeah? No. Yeah, there. That works. But did I scare you asking you stuff? Alright, I'm going to check the chat list and see who's here. I'm going to start asking people random questions. Actually, strangely enough, my chat has gone weird on me. Hey, anybody remember the old classics? Enjoy the summer weather when I can wear light clothes and store up my sun batteries for the long winter. You know what? We don't have super long winters in New England, but I hear you. I totally can relate to the whole sun battery thing. Probably around the end of October in New England, it gets cold enough not to be terribly pleasant, but not quite horrible. January is when it gets bad. We can have stretches of 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so it can be really, really cold for a long period of time. My electric bill more than quadruples trying to keep the house warm. And it's not like we keep it warm, we keep it tolerable, right? We throw tons of blankets on the beds and usually wear hoodies around the house all day, and it just gets really, really, really old quick. We get snow, we don't get a ton of snow. Depending on the years, some years, you know, we get a couple of feet. Other years we've had like over 100 inches. So it can be very, very random. We've had less snow the last few years. Attribute that to what you will. But we have had less snow recently. So I don't miss it when it goes away, but a lot of people who come up for PAX East, which is usually March, April time period, are thinking, spring in New England is going to be great. It has snowed as late as, I think, April 10th. Because we're a maritime, we're right on the water, so you could get a nor'easter comes in, and the next thing you know, surprise, that light hoodie you wore to PAX should probably have been a coat. Try to tell people and give them advance warnings like, hey, this is the weather forecast for next week, pack accordingly. And they never listen. I had a coworker come out a couple of years ago, 2 years ago now, and really light springtime sort of windbreaker jacket. Thought he was going to freeze to death. And he was from Chicago. He was just not prepared. It was pretty funny. But, oh, you know what? I grabbed one of these today. Let's do this before I leave. Let's see. I actually know what this is. I can tell. Let it go. Opening it's going to be a pain in the butt. I always have fear when I open these things, because if you do it wrong and they have a cape, you'll tear the capes. Let's see. This is totally from Frozen though. Actually. It could be Jafar, but I'm going to bet it's either... Actually, I'll tell you right now. It is... it's Elsa. Let it go, let it go. You have a friend who gets fall depression? That's a real thing. What do they call it? Seasonal something disorder? That's a real thing. It's pretty with the many... Right. Yeah, I like fall too. I like fall and spring. They're probably my favorite. I'm going to regret doing this, but... There we go. Oh good, I missed everything. It's spring because, you know, it's starting to warm up and it's great, but fall for the same reason. We have great foliage up here. People come up... Yeah, it was right. And they'll take a week vacation just to come up here and see our fall foliage. And they'll go up into Vermont and other parts of New England. Check this out. It's so glittery. I grabbed this earlier. Yeah, I have a friend that seasonal affective disorder. I have a friend who has it, and she does. She gets very, very, as the days get shorter. Because I don't know what it's like there. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty much the same because we're kind of close in the same distance in terms of longitude. But as the days around here get shorter, and there are days where you'll wake up and it'll be 7:30 before you really start to see the sun start to dawn in the sky. But when you leave work, it's already pitch dark. I mean, it'll be dark by 4:30. So there's like nothing but super, super short days in the winter here. So I totally get how people can have that issue, and I totally understand it. She's got a thing with her cape wanting to just fly all out. Let's see if we can't fix that. Seriously, she's got like rigid cape. Let's get it on there. At the hospitals here, they have special rooms equipped with a special kind of lamp for people that have a lot of trouble with lack of sunlight during the winters. I've seen those, yeah. That is one of the treatments for that kind of depression. I know, because it literally is from lack of sunlight in part. I don't think people understand. I know we've all been taught to be kind of afraid of the sun, don't want skin cancer and whatever. But at the same time, you kind of need it. Right? Because it helps your body produce vitamin D and absorb vitamin D. It helps your body, ward off a lot of things, including depression. So, I mean, I totally get it. I have a hard time. I have to remember to tell myself to go out because I work from home. So I'm in this exact room a lot, like a lot. Yeah, they go there and sit for about an hour. That's what was in the bag. It was Elsa and her snowflake. There's a whole series. I have them all sitting over there. I'm a sucker. I'll go through lines and be like, ooh, they have minifigs. Let me grab one. Even though I already have the whole set, right? So that's the whole set. Ta-da! Jafar is probably my favorite. So are Jack and Sally. Jack and Sally are really, really nice. They have good prints on them. What do I think about Frozen 2? I think it was inevitable. I think if anybody's surprised by it, they're not paying attention. I'm glad they're doing it as a theatrical release because every now and then Disney will release like these direct-to-video sequels to things, and they're always terrible. They're always terrible. Let me show you Jack and Sally. I like them. There's Jack. Sally. She's kind of nice because they got her stitching in her head and her neck really well. I wish my light hadn't died. I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the story's going to be. I haven't paid that much attention. I got to be honest, not a Frozen fan. I've never been a Frozen fan. I don't think I'm the target audience. I do not have little girls in the family, and I don't think I've been totally enamored of a Disney movie since probably Aladdin. I mean, Toy Story, but I think that's different. Yeah, I think Aladdin was really the last Disney animated feature where I was like, this is an amazing movie. I really like it. I learned all the songs, and that was, it wasn't that long ago, and I definitely wasn't a kid when it came out. But I really enjoyed it. It was like super fantastically good in my opinion. Probably one of my all-time favorites, if not my all-time favorite. The Lion King film starring Timon and Pumbaa just felt cruel because it was mostly them commenting on Event's first movie and other. Yeah, see that's the kind of thing I mean. When they do that sort of stuff, it's like, what? Why are we here? What is this about? Other than it's a movie we can stick on a shelf and get a parent to buy because the kid's gonna yell and scream that they want their Lion King, right? That's what that is. And the quality usually shows in bad writing, bad animation, and never the same voice actor. Never the same. Yeah, it was almost like a weird Mystery Science Theater, 3000 version of The Lion King. What they had. It was very strange. I actually meant to Google the Lunar Lander. Hang on. So, just because I'm not sure that this really is flat over here. Like on the real one. Oh yeah, it is. Like a brick. It's just, no, 100%. I thought it was just a shortcut they took because maybe they expected people to position it in a way that it wouldn't be seen, because obviously this is the focus. But no, totally. It was a great picture. I don't know why they took it. I guess you're on the moon, you take a picture of everything. There's a great picture of that's on NASA.gov. It just shows it sitting there from the back, from this side, and it kind of looks like it's made out of Lego. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000 reboot and riff tracks. I liked the original Mystery Science Theater. I liked kind of the idea. I thought it was really super funny. I think maybe we've gone one too many times to the well, as it were. It's not necessarily funny anymore. You know? I think it's just okay. Some of the old ones are really, really funny. Some of the new ones, and some of the riff tracks especially, are just like, yeah, not feeling it. It's not as funny as they seem to think it is. How are those donuts that you didn't bring for everyone, Druid's Fire? That were supposed to be ice cream, by the way. Just not gonna let that go. Let it go, let it go. This is literally the only song I know. That's probably the only part of it I know. Oh wait, isn't there a snowman one? Isn't there like, do you want to build a snowman or something like that? That's literally all I know. I'm a terrible Disney fan. Although, that's not entirely true. Like I said, I love Aladdin, love Toy Story, but we are planning a huge trip to Disney, probably end of next year. We're gonna let the new Star Wars land kind of fall out of favor. Although I'm hearing that because there's only one ride open currently in LA, in the Anaheim Disneyland, and the other one hasn't opened yet and won't until like December. Like, you can pretty much walk in right now, which I've got to be in LA for a week, and Anaheim's only about an hour away. Trust me, I'm thinking about it because I want a droid. Have you seen the droids that you can buy? I want a droid bad. You have no idea. And a lightsaber. But we're gonna go to Disney World next fall, so not 2019, 2020. We'll go down, spend a while, probably go see my mom, spend a few days Disney. Maybe we'll go to Animal Kingdom too. But the whole point of our going next year is definitely to go to Baku and hang out there in Star Wars Land, because that's, I'm going to be 5 basically when I get there. I mean, my 50th birthday we went to Legoland, so why not for my, will that be 52nd? We'll go to Star Wars Land. That works. That fits. It makes sense. Actually, no, this will be my 52nd. It'll be my 53rd. Dear God, I'm old. Sometimes there's funnier riffs in the chat of their riff tracks Twitch channel. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the people watching riff tracks are funnier than the people hosting it. Something I dislike about Euro Disney is that they speak French, not English there. Well, it's in Paris, right? Isn't it Disney? Isn't it actually called Disney Paris? Or is there one that I'm not aware of? Because when I was in France 2 years ago, I passed the exit and I thought about it. I was like, we could pop in. But then apparently it wasn't quite as close as I thought it was. They really call it Euro Disney? Oh, that's too bad. Because it is kind of Disneyland Paris. And nothing against French. They're not like French Canadians. The actual French are super, super nice folks. But I think that's a French thing too. It's like, it's in our country. That's what we're going to call it. So maybe that's why. I don't blame them. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be, North American Disneyland. It's Disneyland. Well, that's a bad example, because in the U.S. they're actually named different things. You have Disneyland and Disney World, but they do call it Euro Disney. Huh. Is what it is. I don't even know how many Disney Worlds there are now, or lands. How many are there? How many Disney parks are there? 6. So there's Disney resorts in California, Florida, Tokyo, Paris, Hong Kong, China, with a total of 12 parks. What? Oh, okay. So you've got Walt Disney World Resort, which is the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and the Animal Kingdom in Florida. You've got Disney California Adventure. And Walt Disney World also has 2 water parks, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. So that's Disney World. Disneylands, there are 6 Disneylands, or castle parks, I guess they call them. They're in California, Florida, Paris, Tokyo, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. Each Disney resort has 1 Disneyland or castle park, and 4 resorts have other parks as well. Alright, so here's the breakdown. Walt Disney World, Florida has the 2 water parks, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. Disneyland Resort in California has Disneyland and California Adventure. Tokyo Disney Resort, which is Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, which I've seen pictures of, and it sounds really, really cool. I would go see that. Although generally I don't have any real interest in going to Tokyo. Disneyland Paris is how they've got it listed on this blog, which shows as Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney Studios Park. Hong Kong Disneyland Resort, which is just Hong Kong Disneyland, and Shanghai Disney Resort, which is Shanghai Disneyland. So I don't know when this was written. June 1st, 2019. So I don't know. So there'll be a Disney Plus streaming channel. I'm actually looking forward to Disney Plus, believe it or not. I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, it's another subscription that we got to pay, but I think that and Netflix. I have Amazon Prime, so I get that already. I get Hulu with my Spotify subscription. So I'm looking forward to Disney Plus. It's the only one other than Netflix that if I had to pay for it, I would. And obviously I'll have to. So The others I kind of consider as free because they're part of something else that I pay for, not specifically for the service. I feel like there's an inflation of movie and series streaming channels. I can't really afford to subscribe to all the content I like to watch. Yeah, so I predicted this. I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I predicted this kind of when Amazon started their streaming service, because originally it was like, Netflix and Hulu, and then you've got Amazon, and then you've got, CBS started their thing, and it got to the point where it's like there is eventually going to reach a point in streaming services where you're pretty much going to need a cable company to become an aggregator and sell you packages of streaming services the same way the current cable companies sell you packages of channels. It's going to become the exact same thing. And all this, we're cutting the cord, we're getting out from under, blah, 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 blah. Boom, you're going to be right back there. Only this time they're going to be streaming channels. Instead of the cable company, it'll be the streaming company. And it'll be the same players. I can almost guarantee you. I mean, AT&T, they already own DirecTV. They own Warner Media. They're halfway there. Yeah, it is what happened when cable customers who couldn't buy a la carte complained about it too much to the FCC. You don't ever want to buy it a la carte. You would be shocked at how much it's going to cost, because now that's what you're doing. You're going to imagine your cable bill, and okay, I've got pretty much everything, right? I've got more channels than I can reasonably watch in my lifetime, and it's a couple $100 a month. Imagine going and taking those, let's call it 150 channels, and paying $10 a month for each one of them. That's what streaming services are. Hulu's a little better because you get kind of a variety. But, NBC Universal's already said they're going to have one. CBS has one. ABC has a service. ESPN has a service. CBS has one. Fox has one. CNN has one. You start paying, even if you get the cheapy ones, like Hulu's ad-supported one, I think is what, $6? You still end up spending potentially hundreds of dollars a month anyways to get all of the pieces that you want to build the thing. You have Amazon because it's included with a Twitch sub, and Netflix because I just had to be able to watch the Star Trek and Marvel series. That's fair. I have Netflix because originally, I've had Netflix since it was we'll ship you a DVD, right? And then I upgraded to have Blu-ray, and then I switched over to streaming only, and then they basically did away with discs, and now I'm on their 4K plan because I have a 4K TV. So I've had them forever. I got it for my father before he passed because he really liked the idea that he couldn't get to the theater for a while, and then he couldn't get to the local library to rent stuff, so things would just show up, and he liked that. So yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. I think Netflix is in trouble because they're going to lose a lot of stuff. Season 4 of Stranger Things is said to be their last one. They lost all the Marvel stuff. They're going to lose a lot of the NBC Universal stuff. I think the CBS stuff is going to start coming off. Someone posted up that they lost something like 160,000 subscribers last month. 1 month. So yeah, that's going to hurt them. The Disney Plus service is really going to hurt them, I think. It's going to be one of those things where it's going to seem like not a lot of content until people go and look for it, and then they realize, holy cow, all of this content's gone, and I got to go over there to get it. Hey, Wobbin. Original content is their way to go, and they know. Yeah, totally. They have to come up with original content, and they have to keep it fresh. Stuff like Stranger Things, stuff like I'm thinking of Ozark because it's so phenomenal, but that's Amazon. But it's a good example of wholly original content that a streaming service offers, that isn't beholden to an existing network or movie studio. I'm surprised DC managed to botch their streaming service so badly. I mean, that to me was kind of a no-brainer, but they've kind of screwed that up. What do they call it? DC Universe or something like that. House of Cards. There you go. House of Cards, a great show, or was. They have a lot of shows that are pretty cool. Netflix does a really great Formula One kind of docudrama series at the end of each Formula One season. As of last year, we saw the first season. It was like, wow, this is really kind of cool. You see all the behind the scenes stuff, and it's all shot in 4K, so it's like ridiculously beautiful. I'm kind of looking forward to the Formula One season ending so I can go watch the Formula One season 2 show, right? There's God, I can't remember what the other show. There's another show that we watch on Netflix, but I can't remember what it is now. They picked up a lot of formerly dead content and done reboots like Shaft. Yeah, Shaft isn't high on my list of stuff that I liked. I liked the original movie, um, but totally. And I think you're starting to see, and it's funny because the Academy responded to it. You're seeing more companies like Netflix and like Amazon try to push into the movie studio space, so that they can get Oscars and Academy Awards, so that they lend more prestige to their streaming offerings. From the same studio that brought you, Manchester by the Sea, which won so many awards a couple of years ago, is this new TV show, and you can only get it on, I think it's Amazon. And then the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences pushed back and were like, no, streaming services are about television, and you probably shouldn't be eligible for Academy Awards. And I thought that was utterly stupid. You have Prime, HBO Go, and Netflix. Don't think I need much more than that. Yeah, you're probably covered. I agree. I agree 100%, Sam. DC's TV shows are great. I'm sad that Arrow is ending after this season, although kind of I get why. Um, but their movies have just been, ugh. It's like, how do you go from Michael Keaton's Batman was far and away my favorite. I thought Christian Bale's Batman was exceptional, but I thought Michael Keaton really owned the role and is still my favorite Batman. How do you go from great? Well, historically, it's easy. You go from something great like the original 1989 Batman, and something that was at least as good, maybe arguably a little bit better, like Batman Returns, and then just fall off a cliff with the movies that came after it, with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were terrible, and then you reboot it so beautifully with Batman Begins and the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, which was iffy, and then totally tank it out again with Batman versus Superman. I don't get their roller coaster. I don't understand it at all. It's I think contrasting DC and Marvel is just fascinating because they have they both have such iconic iconic universes and characters and opportunities, and they just treat them so differently. It's like Marvel gets it so right so much of the time, and DC is like, we're gonna shoot into the barrel. There may be fish there. There might not be. We don't know. And half the shots they catch fish, and the other half they just punch holes in the barrel. It's ridiculous. All right, where are we at? It is 1:45 my time, folks. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thanks for sticking around for the build. Tomorrow night, what did I say, 8 o'clock? It's on the schedule. Scroll down. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It's Lotro night tomorrow. Ithel server. We'll hang out. We'll play. It'll be fun. If you want to log into Ithel server and come find us, where are we? We're in Breland, I think. Still, I'm only level 19, 18, 19. Yes, watch Druidspire try to keep Rick alive, and I'll try to draft the better half to come along as well. She sneaks in and plays every now and then, and I never know which nights. But when I'm up here, she's usually playing, so we'll see if we can't drag her in and get her to be part of the team. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Appreciate you stopping by. Grab the follow button if you haven't already so you get notified tomorrow when we play Lotro. And I'll see you then. Have a great night.